everyone, it's Pavlina from the Pavlina Show, and I am here in New York City, and I'm here with legendary Manhattan District Attorney and World War II veteran, Bob Morgenthau. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for coming by.
Yes, thank you for having me. Like it was pretty quick notice, so this is very exciting. And so you survived. First, let's just start from the beginning. In World War II, you survived the German and Japan bombing attacks, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So can you just tell me how that was? And
Destroyers I was on over there.
yeah, there's pictures on the other side and everything. That's crazy. So how did you move from being a veteran into law? Like what made you want to make that transition?
Well, my mother told me I was going to go to law school.
Oh, there you go.
So when I got out of the Navy in November of '45, I went to law school. In February, they started a class in February.
Yeah.
And I was in a hurry. I went through law school in 2 years by going through summers, and then got out in February '48 and had the good fortune to get a job with Robert P. Patterson, who had been an assistant secretary of war, undersecretary, and then secretary of war, and then the federal judge, and in private practice. That's his picture over there.
Oh my gosh.
He's a terrific guy.
Yeah, your office, first of all, is amazing. Okay, there's papers everywhere, but the walls are just covered with so many memories and pictures and everything. What is one of your favorite memories that you just absolutely love to remember? Because they're on the walls.
Well, I like that PAL picture opening the PAL play streets. I've been the president or chairman of PAL since January 1963.
Wow.
And people think it's funded by the police department, but we don't get any money from the police department, but we work closely with them. Yeah. And provide camp, away from camp, from home for thousands of kids.
That's amazing. So for upcoming law students, what would you suggest to them? Because you're legendary, in the legal field and everything. So what would you suggest to either law students that have just graduated or people that are just starting out in law school?
Well, I think that it's important for a significant number of law school students to go into public service. I think that's important. And even if they don't stay in it forever, it's a great experience.
Yes, definitely. So you are 96 years old, and you are still moving and shaking. You're just everywhere, covering big cases. What keeps you going? Because most people would retire, but that's awesome.
I'm trying to be useful. I'm spending a lot of time on immigration matters. I'm on the board of a new organization called the Immigrant Justice Corp. Along with the Chief Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. And we're trying to provide representation to as many undocumented aliens as we can. Yeah. And I feel an obligation to do that because when my grandfather came here 10 years old, not speaking a word of English, he was able to get into City College 6 years later. And he had to drop out at the end of his freshman year because his father said, you got to help support the family. And he went to work for a law firm. And at age 18, without ever having graduated from college, was accepted at the Columbia Law School. Wow. And graduated at age 20, had to wait a year to be admitted at the bar. So I think I want to see today's immigrants have the same opportunities that my grandfather had.
Yes, yeah, my dad actually, he came over from the Middle East, so it's really cool how this all happened and everything. So what are your thoughts with the current politicians that are not wanting any immigrants to come in? What would you either say to them or suggest to them, I guess?
I think about how your family got here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then when I do that, they say, oh, yes, but they came here legally. Well, who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
But even the people who come here legally, have a difficult time working their way through the maze of the immigration service. So, and people who are not represented by lawyers do very badly.
Yeah.
So we're trying to help. We've hired 70 young lawyers from the class of 14 and the class of 15, and then some 25 college graduates, actors, paralegals, and we're trying to see that the system works and that they're treated fairly.
Yes, definitely. So your wife recently, or I don't know if it was that recent actually, wrote a book called Timeless. So can you just tell me a little bit about this book? I haven't gotten too far in it actually. I just started. But just tell me about the book and what it means to you and everything.
Well, when you marry a writer, you've got to expect that maybe she'll write a book.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think she's worked very hard to show, how our marriage worked and how we worked together and what I did and what she did. I think it's a very good book.
Yes. Yeah, I've just started it and it's already really good. So I saw you, when was it? Whenever Veterans Day, like that was a couple weeks ago, I guess, on Veterans Day, and you were Grand Marshal at the Veterans Day Parade. So what did that mean to you, and how was that when because you being the Grand Marshal, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, I was, I spent my 21st birthday in the Naval Reserve on a battleship in Guantanamo Bay in the summer of 1940. Then I went back, finished college, went in full-time June of 1941, and I was on a destroyer in the Boston Harbor on Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah.
And I was at Okinawa on another destroyer when Japan surrendered. So I saw the whole war from beginning to end.
I know. So that was like being in 2015 now. It must be insane to just think.
They had a point system, and nobody knew exactly how they worked it out. But you'd be notified by the Navy Department Bureau of Personnel that you had the points for the release from active duty. And I was at Okinawa when I got my points. That was in the middle of September.
Okay.
When I came back on another destroyer, and we came into Seattle. No welcome wagon, hostess there, no band, not even a cab. The thing I wanted more than anything else was a hot shower because, the desalinized water was not very satisfactory. So I had to walk a half a mile up a hill to a hotel in Seattle. I had thought of moving to Seattle during the war. I don't know exactly why, but after that experience, I said, Seattle, you're not for me. So I caught a train and went to Minneapolis. Great Northern was called then, where my wife was living. So it was exciting. One of the people who'd been on the Lansdale with me when it was torpedoed and sunk came up from Philadelphia with his sons and daughter, and Bob Dodd, his name was, and then the guy that was in midshipman school with me, Bill Meineke, who's now 101. He was there at the parade. So yeah,
I remember I got a selfie with him.
and he's a very good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.